got stuck having to take like a 200 cash out. They were able to pull out, I forget if not Shoma, if yeah, Shoma went fourth or fifth. I think it was a fifth place from like getting the anima grief, so it's like not the worst, but like not what you're trying to see when you
Yeah,
really need points to advance. But yeah, no
absolutely.
animas winning it out. We've seen a decent amount of like our Samira Ornn, but we've also seen a lot of cool boards
Yeah.
today. We saw a 4 timebreaker Sniper Shen, which looked really cool. Ezreal Cho'Gath
Oh,
winning. We saw like some like Marauder Challenger MF also in another like I feel like we've seen a lot of mix. We've seen the Yi line with
yeah.
like Marauders playing around the Kindred, like people opting not to even itemize the Yi. We've moved to like fully playing around Kindred. A lot of Morganas. I think players prioritize a
Yes,
lot after a lot of these buffs.
absolutely. That's what I was definitely seeing a lot of that on Friday. Just with the buffs that they gave her, she finally feels like a real unit now.
Yeah, and then I think the other thing we were also seeing is like we're definitely seeing a lot of Fast 9. I feel like Fast 9 has won most of the games today. But also like people electing to itemize the Shen a lot more. I think the Shen buffs are
Mhm.
actually crazy. This unit's been buffed like 3 patches in a row, I think. But I think this
Yeah,
last patch, we talked about it a bit earlier, has actually made him like into somebody you want to itemize. Just getting the attack speed buff, regardless of where his cast goes, so he always gets the buff, which means his next
right,
cast is faster, which means he gets the third one to get the true damage that much faster
right.
and actually do damage. He looks so good to me now.
I love that. I love Shen. I think he's a super, super fun unit, so I am very excited to see that.
Yeah, he finally feels like people think like, oh, it's a Bastion, it's a tank, but he was like always designed as a carry, but really didn't do enough with items to
Right.
justify being a carry, so people never
Yeah.
realized it and still like, throw tank items, he's a body, he gives me a sword.
Yeah,
But now it's like,
exactly.
no, we actually get to like play him how he's meant to be played, so it's cool to finally see it. And I feel like the meta's been in a pretty good spot throughout these games. Like I feel like it's one of our more, at least for this set, it's definitely the most
Mhm.
varied we are seeing in comps. Like
Yeah.
I don't think like a tier go to S tier. I think even our Fast 9 variations look quite a bit different.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I think the set's finally in a good spot, like comp wise, balance wise. So it's like cool to see.
Yeah, I do love when a patch is good enough that people are truly just playing what they hit. And like you're going fast 9, but then you're just playing what you hit and it's strong enough to get you the top 3, top 4 that you're looking for in these. I like that. A lot of variability and a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I think one of the things that is lacking though, I think there's still not as high a balance on some of these god boons. Like I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
boons that just feel like unclickable at times. I think that's like the sore spot right now. We do see a good split this time, but I feel like a lot of times we see, 7, 8 people all picking the same side.
Yeah,
And
for
like
sure.
even this time we saw a lot of people go towards Evelyn. Because I think this +1 max interest from Ari is so hard to take advantage of a lot of the time being at that to sit on that 60 gold.
Yeah.
Oh, and we
Yeah.
had the prismatic start. I've been curious to see with that one though, if you get hedge fund on 2-1 and then you get that one, can you get 11
Oh,
interest?
interesting. Yeah.
I've always wanted to see if that's a thing. Because I know it doesn't work the opposite. If you take the
Uh-huh.
Ari one, where you take the interest first, and then on
Right.
3-2, you get hedge fund, it puts you at 10. So you just lose the Ari one,
Oh.
because it sets you
Yeah.
to 10. So I've
Yeah,
yet to
right.
see it the other direction.
Huh.
I don't
That's
think
super
anyone took hedge
interesting.
fund here to see, and then even if they did, we don't have the power to check their interest.
Right.
But yeah, first prismatic opener today. We see level up on the side of Phoenix. We see the deadlier blades on the other side playing into the Jinx, having the red buff already. Like being able to win most of these fights there on Ripple Overdrive's side, like this is going to be a very, very strong Jinx as we are able to like upgrade this Deathblade a lot and get a bunch of those swords. Unless we
Yeah, for
fight
sure.
somebody like Tex where, hey, you only get 1 kill from it.
Yeah. I think that we've seen Ripple playing a lot of that like challenger reroll, 2 cost reroll throughout the whole weekend, it feels like.
Yeah, I feel like we pretty much see a Jinx board every game, it feels like. Looking here at Jukyu's board, this is a very strong stage 2 board. I'm not surprised that we're quote-unquote 100 streaking, because we did take Evelyn Boone, but
Right.
not losing a fight here when you have that unexpected expectedness, getting those 4-star upgrades, getting both the mech and the karma is like huge for the 2 units to get dropped from it. And then having all the dark star upgrades, like we hit that and we hit a Mordekaiser 2 and a Cho 2 and a Lysandra 2. Like, how do we get to just spawn in this board on stage 2?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, this
Like,
is kind of insane. I think also with the karma buffs, she's felt really strong, or a lot. She's felt better and felt like you actually had more options going AP than I feel like you did in some of the previous patches.
yeah, I think it helps the karma a lot. Like when you hit her like early, then it's like, okay, I can put the items on early. I still think
Yeah.
like late game, you don't want the items on it. You want the items on like an Asol, a Nami, a
Right.
Bard. Like you have better options you want it on, but I think her mid game is a lot better when you hit her early to be the item holder towards it. I don't think she's quite in the spot where you want her as main carry. I don't think she can ever be your main carry with how good her traits are.
Right.
But will always be a good secondary.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen a lot of Asol recently too. Just super, super powerful. A lot of damage that he just can output consistently.
Yeah, and I also want to call out, we also saw there from Pokygom, Deadlier Blades Jinx as well. We have 2 players playing this Deadlier Blades Jinx. Both have Deadlier Blade red buff now. Both very strong, but it is something that both units can hit. You are getting the extra econ from the Primordians, but it feels like it's going to come down to this 3-2 augment. Does one of them hit like a prismatic ticket or like
Yeah,
an invested
absolutely.
or something of who's going to be able to get the econ needed to be able to get the rolls to hit units over the other one?
Yeah, I'm really glad to see some more low cost reroll. I love low cost reroll. I think it's a lot of fun, and so I like that there's a bit of one cost reroll that really hasn't looked that great, but has been seeing some play kind of in the Lysandra, and then with like the Vigar printer, which definitely looks a lot stronger. But this like kind of 2 cost reroll with the Jinx and the Challengers and playing that early Primordian has felt pretty good. At least the games that I was seeing, and a lot of them, it was Ripple who was playing it, was just it was a top 3 comp, if not a first place comp. Like it was doing well.
Yeah, I feel like the Jinx board always looks like a top 2 as long as you hit. If you don't hit, then it's
Right.
like, okay, like how much HP were you able to like save early to what do you bleed out to when you just miss? But yeah. Interested
Right.
to see what Ego does pick here, whether we hit the Cho or the Lysandra first. Because it looks like,
Yeah.
or even maybe
Vigar.
consider Ezreal, but no. Oh, okay. I think that's also a pretty good hit. We're not gonna play around this Cho Lysandra because we didn't hit either of those. Okay, we're playing
Right.
Vigar printer without needing to print. And
Oh.
pretty good items there. Now we can just push levels and push towards more like what we can get a meeple board around this, and we can get a lot of the
Right.
legendaries on board.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel
And
like
then
with
Pokygom
Vigar,
on the other side, we got more items, so depending on
Yeah.
what Ripple Overdrive, we see on the side also hit an artifact, but is sitting on 6 Jinxes, regardless
that
of not
is
hitting Econ. But it's
a lot of Jinx.
yeah, it's interesting that neither one of them hit an augment to help them be able to hit the like extra copies. So they're both in the
Right.
same spot. So it's like they can both still do it, but Ripple Overdrive's bench looks a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely.
We see Pokygom on the other side scouting there too to be able to see it. But yeah, I think that's Pokygom on the other side, just on the rec size, which not as important. So
Yeah.
and with the changes here, we had recently changes to the sympathetic where it's not giving mana gen to this Jinx, it's giving attack speed. So I
Mhm.
kind of like the adaptation here to play this Gragas, to play around that, especially when we're like missing the rec size. So that as our
Right.
tank and to be able to get a sympathetic on there to buff up, to give an extra item to this Jinx now to get the Deadlier Blade stacks going.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it does help when you find a Master Yi on level 5.
That is true. That definitely helps a lot.
And then also getting when you're playing, I think this is one of those where the Thresh Lantern feels a bit better too when you're playing these rerolls, so you have like an upgrade
Right.
on your bench that's worth pulling in.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting, we see Pokygom take the gold from Evelyn, so won't see shops in the next 2 rounds, so it might be conceding to Ripple Overdrive that, okay, you're gonna get the units, and I'm just kind of
Yeah.
get my gold and then push later, miss out on my 2 shops.
Yeah, for
But also,
sure.
like, you don't want that XP either, so it kind of feels forced into it, because the XP's not gonna do anything for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely feels pretty bad to feel like you have to take that when you're trying to hit one of those low cost rerolls. I do
Yeah,
like
because
this ASOL though.
I saw Ripple Overdrive did end up taking the XP,
Hmm.
so didn't want to sacrifice missing 2 rounds of shops
Yeah,
and not being able to roll. But
absolutely.
I think like this Evelyn one is perfect here for somebody like Phoenix who has the level up, had the cosmic restart. We have the HP, so it's like okay, this is a very fast 9 board. It seems like you're gonna have so much gold, you have so many extra rerolls, you have level up. Like we're gonna hit level 9 probably on 4-2 and have some gold still left over based off what our augment is.
Yeah, for sure. And having the HP to be able to do it and not be too worried about it definitely
Yep.
feels good.
Okay, yeah, as we go up on the other side against this constructed Vagar, we're definitely gonna probably take 2 big losses here, but like you said, have the HP to be able to like sustain those losses and then recover on 4-2 with level 9.
Yeah, for sure. I do really like the ASOL. ASOL's got some some items on him that are really
A
gonna,
lot of damage.
yeah, make sure that he is pumping out damage.
We see Tex here getting our Fortune Strength cash out
Yep.
as we reforged 3 of them. We hit, oh, Flicker Blade Zaya. I'm not sure what our Stargazer is, but that looks pretty good. Flicker Blade red buff and Varus
Yeah.
Obsession also pretty good to stack up. Like that is a very strong scaling Zaya.
Yeah.
The other 2 items, not quite as good if we're looking to stay in Zaya boards because you don't typically have like a good AP holder for Lichbane Dawncore.
Right.
However, Lichbane Dawncore is a great combo together. You just gotta find the right unit for it because that's non-stop
Absolutely.
cast. Ripple
Wow.
Overdrive hitting the Jinx 3, not electing
Yeah.
not, like we said, not take the Evelyn shops so that we see shops for our next 2 rounds and then hitting. Whereas on the other side, fighting Pokygom, the contester that did not have 2 shops, didn't get any more upgrades there. So,
Yeah.
Pokygom looks like in a very rough spot from here.
Yeah, and that Jinx is looking quite scary.
Yep. And then Deepay, our other Fortune Strength, cashing out this turn as well. I feel like also not necessarily the best. I feel like Thresh's Lantern loses a lot of value in the late game. I feel like it's more of an early game
Yeah.
item. And then this
Yeah.
Hellfire Hatchet, not the best either. So I think it's really going to depend what we hit on our level 8 roll down.
Right. There's a lot.
And then,
That board has a lot of room to upgrade as well. It's a little spooky with just the just the Ornn 2 in the front.
yeah, I feel like we're holding on to a lot of different things. Tex hitting
Yeah.
the Vex, so this is Huntress Stargazer. So I was curious if we were gonna look to maybe play around Vex or if we stay on this Zaya since we hit it.
Right.
Because I feel like Huntress is like an okay one for Zaya. I don't feel like it's one that like you're expecting to cap out.
Right.
And like I said, doesn't really have the um, best Lichbane Dawncore holder. I guess kind of the. I mean, I guess Samira kind of can. Her mana cost is kind of low, but
Yeah.
doesn't really benefit from the AP, but just a pure Lichbane stacking. So maybe.
Yeah, I do really love the how many comps you're splashing the like the 2 Nova in, just I mean really just for like Aatrox, just for that shred because it's so much.
Yeah, I know it's definitely somebody back in PBE when this set was announced and we saw the Nova, something that was talked about a lot, that it was like, wait, you
Yeah.
just can play Aatrox with one other unit and you just get free Shred Sunder. You
Yeah.
don't have to worry about the items. Like,
Yeah.
it just opens up so many like
Absolutely.
itemization that you can do on the others and play for like bigger carries. And because his other trade is Bastion, something that you probably
Yeah.
want on every board that is a team-wide support. So it's just like, yeah, this is like one of the best synergy bots you can have.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
then it's like, just pick whatever the other Nova you can fit. Maokai's a great one on a lot. Getting free crit from a Kali so that you also don't have to itemize towards it to get some damage is also just, so it's like this Nova trade is like one of the best
Yeah.
ones, which
Yeah.
makes buffing the Nova units kind of difficult.
Yeah, for sure. We are seeing this Blitzcrank too with 3 items on him.
Yeah, and that might be the 3 best items you could have on a Blitzcrank. I don't see this Blitz dying
Yeah,
for
he
quite some
is.
time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we also, I don't remember what we reforged, but we got a second Zonias as well. So we have one on front line, one on back line. They're gonna have to jump around between the 2 units, and Blitz also having the innate one.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There is
Tex
that
being
more of
on
that
that one
Morgana
life,
though. Yeah. Like we
not
were
hitting
talking
the
about where
Zaya
yeah.
is a bit
It
difficult.
it
Yeah,
feels really terrible.
yeah, and we can see here just putting the Lich Bane on Maokai, and that's what I was worried about on the Zaya board, not having a holder for Dunkor Lich Bane.
Right?
So like we're losing a lot of value from our Fortune Strength. But yeah, that's where like I wonder if the Vex could have been better to go towards the Vex. I feel like we had better
Mhm.
items towards it, and then you can pair it alongside like maybe a Bard or a Sona or something if you're able to hit.
Yeah.
But I think we're just in a spot where we recognize that not gonna be able to go level 9. That even though have the
Yeah.
Vex 1, that it's like okay, it's gonna
Yeah.
be hard to hit
I
other upgrades. This is the
yeah.
better like safer play.
I I think we were definitely kind of banking on the hitting the Zaya and not and then like prioritizing the sniper because of that and then just not hitting Zaya has felt pretty bad.
Yeah, and I think sitting at the 47 points though, or 49 points, Tex is our current like point leader of the people remaining.
Hmm.
So definitely just needs a top 4 to like guarantee advance. And so see Zaya as the safer, just hit the Zaya too. But
Right.
it's unfortunate, like if end up going 8th here, we'll still be in a good spot to make cutoff in the next game. But would have liked to been able to just get a top 4 here and not have to play anymore.
Yeah.
We
It is
did hit the
scary being
Zaya
that one
too,
turn.
so it
Yeah.
is
We did
possible.
did pick it up off of the Pengu gift, but it is a little late, especially being on that one turn clock now and everybody else is also coming online.
Yeah, there's some other strong looking boards here across the board, like this board from Ripple Overdrive, the double dozen. Bakigam also hitting the Jinx.
Yeah.
Looks like we did elect to stay on level 6 and roll for it, even though we knew that Ripple Overdrive had a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy to be able to hit that when not getting any econ from our augments, to not get that help to be able to
Right.
hit it.
Yeah, and hitting all of the what is it? Primordian.
Yeah,
Also managed to hit the Primordian units as well.
I think anyone that runs into this DP though, this Blitz 2 is just going to struggle.
Yeah. We got the 5 meeple in here for our Vigar though.
Yeah, we just need
And
to
some
find a bard to
Shepherd.
replace this Fizz at some point. And then
Yeah.
if we can hit this Ramas too. But I feel like there's several boards that are just quite strong. Phoenix I saw also hit a Blitz too,
Yeah,
which is gonna be hard for
absolutely.
somebody like Kogai Dom to be able to hit. We're matching up into one of the Jinx boards there, so
Yeah.
Texas might be Texas' final fight, because I don't think he's killing this Horn Blitzcrank.
Yeah, it is. It's not looking great.
It was one of those where he's just waiting to fight the ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
And
It's
that'll be,
unfortunate.
looks like an 8th for Tex, who's not, like I said, is our point leader, so probably will not advance off of this though, but still in a very good spot that if top 4 the next game, it's just like he just had to top 4 any of the next 3 games, it feels like, so
Yeah.
it's not too bad. That was a lot of gold. For
Yeah.
somebody that has items on a bunch of our units. I
Yeah.
feel like these Velveth items, not quite the best though. I feel like I see a lot of people itemize the Akali over the Belveth. And I feel like these are better Akali items than Belveth, so
Mhm.
it's interesting to me to see that we're keeping them on Belveth. But I've not played this line enough recently to know which one actually is better. I feel like I've just seen
Right.
Akali use them a lot more, but I don't know that that's correct either. So I don't know. It might be just one where like, they're here. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
And being on one remover as well kind of limits you a bit.
Right, for sure.
The cool guy Dom we see there sitting, waiting one off of each the Ornn and the Samira. So close.
Yeah.
As we fight on the other side here, come up against the Vagar Karma. Still on Ramus 1 though. We've been sitting on this Ramus pair on Ego's board for quite a bit.
Yeah, very unfortunate. That unit is so, so good, especially with a couple items. As soon as you get him 2-star, he tanks forever.
Yeah, and especially when like that is the only tank on Ego's. Turns out it was enough though. Without
Yeah.
cool guy Dom hitting either sitting on 8 apiece of Samira Ornn
Yeah. It was a good
it was
loss.
just enough to hold out against it.
Yeah.
And then Pokegum here also still sitting on that. We're now on the 1 life. Now that we've lost the last 2. Having, lost the Jinx fight to Ripple Overdrive early and then losing so much HP while on the 2 stars. And then
Yeah.
not hitting this point. It looks like we did move our items over to the Akali, so maybe it's like, okay, I need to change something. We lost the
Mhm.
last 2 fights. We'll see if this makes a difference. But we go up against Jukyu, who here on the other side has the Bar 2, has the Sona 2,
Yeah.
has like all these upgrades, and we had to spend so much to get this Jinx that we're not able to push and get like an extra challenger in.
Yeah. She's doing a lot, but the front line is just disappearing so fast.
Yeah, I feel like this Akali did do a lot more work than this Belveth though. Is it
Right?
enough? Oh, not quite. Not the Jinx couldn't get another cast off.
Almost. Yeah.
And
It
that's where
was
I wonder,
close.
it's like, if we had switched to the Akali sooner, maybe we would have won of those 2 fights, because to me it looked so much better.
Right. Oh, there we go. Hits both of them.
Also, I want to note, on DPay's board, I saw we moved the Zonias off of the Blitzcrank over to the Shen, and we got a
Mhm.
Hodge on it, which I think is a good call, because I feel like the Zonias procs before the Blitz, like, passive, which you
Oh,
kind of want
right.
that because you gain a lot of stats from being in the permanent group
Yeah,
once that proc, so it's kind of delaying
for
that a
sure.
bit in Kid Grief a bit because it's so hard to proc it again once you've gone immune and dropped aggro. So I
Right.
do like the
Yeah.
move there to the Shen, who we've mentioned has looked really good
Yes.
today, and being able to get some more casts in. The Shen can buff up the Blitzcrank even more, so it's just like, oh, it all looks so good.
Yeah.
But Jukyu here, having the Blitzcrank to throw the Ornn back,
Oh
and
wow.
just having
Yeah.
this upgraded backline looks like it is enough to take down Kuga.
Ooh.
I don't think it's enough. I think we're 1 HP. Oh no. Perfect
Wow.
lethal.
That is so tragic.
And then Deepay on the 6th streak, able to move up into the top 4. Still a lot of HP on the other 3 boards he needs to take down. Who Phoenix also is on a win streak. But Deepay's board just looks insane.
Yeah, this is a lot of upgrades. It got 2 items on the Shen, and all of our items on the Blitzcrank is kind of scary. I
Yeah,
like
and
this
we're just like,
Nami as well.
yeah,
Like,
having the, this is like, I feel like this is definitely the capped 5 space group Nami board. Like that's how you
yeah,
want to cap it out with all those legendaries instead of like playing around like,
right.
even if you have like a space group emblem that people trying to play around like Riven or play some of the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
stuff. It's like that board that DP's playing doesn't even look like a 5 space group board like at first.
No.
Like you're looking like, wait
Yeah,
a second, we have 5 of these on here. There's just such good value in all the units.
absolutely.
But
Wow.
facing off against Ripple Overdrive's board on the other side here for Jukyu's Ripple Overdrive, hitting that Jinx so early to be able to stack up the Deathblade. But this Sona Bard, just when you think it might be losing, it
Yeah.
just seems like this UFO just goes like, nope, we have
It's
enough here to finish them all off.
it is so much damage out of the Bard.
And this is also, we haven't seen this board as much from Phoenix, but it's also just quietly on a 6 streak. Uh,
Yeah.
and it looks like we actually beat D-Pay in the last fight. The board that was insane from D-Pay. Looks like this Acel just so much damage was able to kill it, which I'm
Right.
surprised that D-Pay actually wasn't
Yeah.
able to win out here.
Yeah, this
That feels
5
bad to have that board and go forth.
absolutely. The 5 conduit and then just this double JG plus a hat on the ASOL.
Yeah, and hitting the level up into Cosmic Restart to be able to go 10 and have gold hit all of these units.
Yeah.
But hey, I wish we could see how many stacks are on this Deathblade on this Jinx. This almost feels like a rock paper scissors that's left between these three. And with
Right.
having this much HP, it feels like it's a lot of matchmaking of, do I get the
Yeah.
ghost? Which ghost do I get? Do I win the rock paper scissors against this one?
Right.
Like this final 3 might just be a matchmaking battle. But honestly, even with D-Pay in it, it felt like it was good. It seems like D-Pay only could have lost to Phoenix. I don't know how close that fight was either.
Right.
Do we get to steal a dragon? Can we find a way to put a dragon on a board? We got one. We did see one earlier in one of our games, and the Bard had Eternal Pact, which would Eternal Pact onto the dragon. Because the dragon has the most HP. Which I
That's
don't
kind of
think was
fun.
ideal, but it was kind of cool.
Is he going in?
It was funny, whether it was good or not.
He's not. Tragic. Oh, he is. There we go. Oh my gosh.
Interesting that we don't value the Morgana. Wait, okay, we do value Morgana.
Yeah.
Huh. That is
very interesting. Oh.
I thought
Another
I
one.
valued the Morgana 2 over Dragon, and then we
Yeah.
sold it for a mech 1. I guess we had to sell it to go level 10. So, and it was like, okay,
Right.
well, I'll play a mech in the spot.
Yeah. Oh, there was a lot of ASOL damage there. Ooh, to
Okay,
1.
we're 1 HP though because Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure Dragon. Actually, no, I think Dragon does count as 1 damage. Yeah, so it was a 4-unit loss. Yeah, so it does count as damage. Because
Okay.
it's not a summon. It is a unit you put there
Right,
on the board.
right.
It does pick a unit slot. It's not like a Shepherd or like
Yeah.
like summons we've seen in the past of like a Scion or Galio summon.
Right.
I've just never actually done the math to see if Dragon did count as damage, but it makes sense that it does.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully we had just enough life to survive it. Can Ripple Overdrive with the massive Jinx be able to take down this board again? We saw this fight earlier and GQ barely winning before, but have we made it? I feel like there's also a lot of fight RNG here too when you have like, when you have the Nova Strike from the Akali. Do you get the crits when you need him with the 25? But Jukyu's just gotten too strong.
Yeah.
Has the Dragon there to absorb a lot of the HP before you can even touch the backline.
Yeah, the Jinx was so strong. She just wasn't doing it. It wasn't fast enough. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but good enough to pull out a third when we're sitting at the 42 points. It'll put it in a good spot to probably, you just need a top 4 in the next game, because I don't know if I don't think it'll be enough to advance on this game, but I think puts you in a good spot for the next one. And then Phoenix, who really, really needed a first here, sitting at 36 points. That's huge to be able to survive this. I think Phoenix was our, was our last place in points of the remaining players, 2 points behind the player above. So getting first here, if we can pull it out, even if we pull out the second, regardless, really, really needed a top 2.
Right.
I'm not 100%. It should be enough to survive one more game. We'll need another top 2 to follow it up.
Yeah. These little dueling spaceships is wild.
Our space battles.
Yeah.
Definitely reminiscent of set 3, galaxies, space theme, everything. I know this is all God's theme, but definitely there are a lot of callbacks and nostalgia to the galaxy space theming.
For sure.
Our good old Astro. Oh, I missed set 3 Astro Bard.
Oh my gosh. I miss set 3 in general.
Set 3 were the good old days.
True.
This is definitely me and you as the nostalgia cast.
True. I had a conversation with somebody recently where I had to explain what Piba Comp was, and I was like, oh no, I'm so old.
Yep. Good old PivaComp. I taught so many people in the Guardian Angel League
Yeah.
how to play PivaComp. I was definitely
Yep.
the go-to one for it at the time. I feel like I
Yeah.
coached like 12 different people on how to play that
Yeah.
comp. You
Wow.
being one of them, I think, at one point.
Yeah, probably.
But Phoenix here, as we mentioned, pulling out the first, being last in points, getting the huge 8 points to go up to 44. We can see in the face cams there is excited to be able to pull out that first and to survive yet another to move up and put in a good spot to be able to take a top 2 for the next game, to be
Yeah.
able to advance to week 2.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, I think we're gonna pull up standings here, take a quick look, and see how this actually shakes out.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Look at that.
And then as we can see here, not fully updated, but pretty close.
Mhm.
But yeah, we see wow, Phoenix doesn't have the points in there, but we know got 8, so it's at 44. So will advance. It was enough to make it through, but it's not quite on the cutoff for the next game. So we'll need yet again another top 2.
Yeah.
It looks like we will be saying goodbye to Shoma, who unfortunately the game before had the anima griefed and then not getting a good game here to be able to go through. We'll also be saying goodbye to Degree and Pokygom, unfortunately being contested on that Jinx line, not able to
Yeah.
hit the units enough to be able to pull out a top 4 when needed to survive. And then it looks like, depending on if the tiebreakers are right, we'll probably also be saying goodbye to Millennium Fox, as Phoenix will move up above, just barely at that 44 points to cover. So yeah, Phoenix really did need the first, not even just the
Yeah.
second. But we can take a look at the top side too. We'll see, I believe it JRC, Dank Memes, Texi, and Tactic Torn will all be moving on to week 2 as we move on to our game 5, where we'll once again cut 4 more and advance 4 more. But we're gonna head to break here soon. This will be my last game for the day, so I will be signing off and saying bye to everyone. As you finish off the day, I will also be go watch the rest from bed as well. So it'll be exciting to see those last 2 games and who makes it into week 2.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our coverage of the regional finals. I am here with Domino now, and we are super excited to get into what is this, game 5 of the day?
Yeah, I think so. Game 11 for the weekend. It's a large string of games, but we are getting there. This is going to be our before last game tonight. I've been watching since earlier from the sidelines, and it's been super interesting to see what's been going on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything that you're hoping to see this game?
I think I'm hoping for some good fast 8 boards, I think. I mean, like, we've seen so much reroll. Like,
Yeah,
over the
that's fair.
weekend, it's been kind of just like the common denominator has just really been this reroll aspect. And, like, while that's super fun, and I love donkey rolling, and I love hitting units, I do want to see some good 5-cost soup. And I do want to see some of those fast 8 boards and see how far you can get ahead while everybody else in the lobby is rolling for their units, right?
Yeah. I think that based on kind of what we're seeing on everybody's boards right now, it looks like there is a lot of that early meeple for a lot of people. So I do feel like we might be seeing quite a bit of this Vigar printer or
Yeah.
even a little bit of reroll for it anyway. I'm hoping for some anima just because we saw a lot of anima on Friday, but it sounds like it was pretty absent throughout Saturday and then the games that we were looking at earlier today. So I am curious if that was again like just a Friday thing that it was working because it was, I think, of the 4 games that I saw, I think the anima won 3 of them. So it was really performing.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I feel like we saw a decent amount of it, and then it kind of just fizzled out yesterday very quickly, right?
Yeah, for sure. That is a pretty early catfish with the TK.
Yeah.
I think that obviously getting augments, getting something that kind of gets you these big 4-cost units, especially one like that fits in so well to a lot of gaps, especially in this kind of early game.
I mean,
It
yeah,
really does a lot.
let alone, the amount of loot. If you start off your game with a Tom Kench
Yeah.
every 3 rounds,
Oh, for
like, you're
sure.
getting so much. It's super profitable.
Yeah. A lot of value. Another one.
Yeah, interesting. Let's take a look at this Arbiter law. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think this is the second person that we've seen who's actually kind of putting in Arbiter.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Arbiter feels so hit or miss.
Yeah, I think it requires such a specific spot, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. For it to be like an end game comp and to really feel impactful, everything kind of has to align around it. Oh, interesting. We've got this challenger emblem and the rogue emblem here.
This is cool. I mean, clicking World Tree here and hitting those emblems are nice. I mean, the Psionic is a little bit lost, but other than that, though.
Yeah, because I mean, super good early synergies when you are playing this Jinx and you're playing that early Primordian where you get to proc all of them basically. Not your Psionic, but
Yeah.
all of the other ones.
All the important stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Over here, making sure we lose. Lost streak attack. I mean, yeah, that's also a good place to be if you can't find, that kind of original augment that's just going to propel you ahead of everybody else. Might as well just keep your money.
We do have a nice hat that's going to get stacked up here with this Vigar, so we are going to be looking to either print him or do a little bit of rolling and hope that we can kind of go into it with quite a few. I think that this Vigar feels a lot better than like with the Gnar, because the Gnar being a 2-cost, it just takes so long to print. And you get kind of stuck in this stuck on the 7 meeple for me it always felt longer than I wanted it to. So unless I was yeah, I'm going into it with like this 5 or 6 gnar, and then I'm rolling like while I'm printing and really
Yeah.
hoping that I'm basically only have to print one. So I think that having that one cost Vigard that you can just like immediately print feels really good and is part of the reason, along with all of the other changes that we've seen in the pat, of just like why it's become so prominent.
Looking at this god encounter, which one do you tend to lean for during your games?
I think it really depends. I love just the random,
Yeah, me too.
you know, just kind of gambling on it, hit a little bit of gamba, but I think that especially here, like with the prismatic open, again, I want to see some anima.
Yeah.
I think that like if I'm playing for anima, having that Soraka feels really good. Like it kind
It's a
of,
bit of a
you know that you
cushion.
can, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I do like that.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. We are our random boon was this painted hex here, which we're opting not to use right away, I think, just to make sure that we continue on this lost streak.
Yeah, kind of looking to continue the lost streak. Also, maybe not totally sure what our final board's gonna look like and where we might want that to end up. This is a lot of Leonas, though. I think that
Yeah,
there were
it's
6
Leonas.
of them. Yeah.
We're 6 out of 9, which is it's good. I mean, we might, with any luck, like in a round or two, we'll
Yeah.
get the 3-star online.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm assuming that we're printing Leonas with the Arbiter, but we might not be. It might have just like naturaled into a lot of Leona.
Yeah, it could be. We have no idea what the Arbiter law actually is in this case.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, got the Psionic in. Just a 2 Primordian, I think, is an interesting choice. Because I mean, the free unit that you're getting when it's giving you 1 or 2 costs, and your whole
Yeah.
board is 1 or 2 costs, it feels like that
It feels so
does
important.
a lot for you. Yeah, but I think that prioritizing the Psionic item here, I get that, it makes sense, especially when your board is strong and you're not losing anyway. I do think that very obviously at 6 it really goes back in before we start really rolling. I feel like I've seen a lot of Great Tree. In general, it feels like there's a pretty high priority on emblems for a lot of people in a lot of the games that I've been seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was on broadcast for some of the games on Friday, and we were discussing how like all of the top spots in a couple of the games, like first, second place, were all people who had emblems.
Yeah.
And it seems to just be making such a huge difference this set. And then of course we can't forget, like a few months back they did buff emblems like as items.
Yeah.
It was
Exactly.
totally busted for a while, and now
yes. Yep.
it's in a better spot. Let's put
Yeah.
it that way. But
yeah, it is definitely in a healthier spot, but there have been tons of patches and sets and stuff where you're not playing emblems. Emblems feel like not entirely worthless, but but pretty close.
Yeah.
So having them actually feel like they're meaningful and impactful is really nice. I don't necessarily love seeing it so much and seeing it like as high priority as it is, but I can't be that mad about it.
yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, Timebreaker plus Nova is interesting. That definitely fits together quite nicely.
I love the Timebreaker Nova. I think especially after the recent buffs with Nova, where this like 5-piece Nova is feeling really good. I think this is it. This is what I've been theory crafting. Legitimately, when I saw the buffs, there were buffs to Caitlyn. I'm like, I bet you just like going Caitlyn, putting in the 2 Fate Weaver, because this is all low cost, it's such low cost, and then especially if you get the Timebreaker emblem and putting that on Caitlyn with a Rage Blade with an additional attack speed steroid. This is it. This is what I've been saying. I've been looking
Yes.
for this game.
It's
I've
getting
been waiting to see it
presented.
in my game so that I could play it. And this is it. This is beautiful and perfect. I'm gonna screenshot and I'm gonna send it to people and I'm gonna say I told you.
I told you so. Yeah, oh my god, those moments are the best. Just like, see? I knew it!
I told you it's good, it's viable! That said, I hope it performs, because if it doesn't, that's gonna be embarrassing for me. But yeah, I mean, this Jinx is also super high priority this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been seeing her everywhere.
I think it's more of, not that the unit has like such a high cap, it's just so consistent. It's felt like everybody does manage to hit it for the most part, and when you do hit, you're going minimum top 5, generally at least a top 4. Quite a few of the games have been this like first or second off of it. So it feels like, it just feels really solid. It's been super consistent. So I'm not surprised that we're seeing so much of it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the 2 costs in general have been like very prized by the players, and it's been nice to see for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of Shepherd as well that we've been seeing a lot more than we have in previous sets. I think that there was a period of time where like the 5 Shepherd was really strong, or even 7 Shepherd, again, like we were saying with how many emblems there are, and like when you hit the emblem, you're always going 7 Shepherd, and I don't think that that's necessarily the case anymore, but I feel like we're seeing this 3-piece a lot more than we were previously.
That's true. I think it's just become something that you're kind of able to not slot in for free, but almost, right?
Right.
This Mord is tanking infinitely, but the damage output on this LeBlanc is just not enough.
Yeah. I do really like the LeBlanc. I think that I said this on Friday, she hasn't felt like she's been able to be a focal point in any of the comps throughout the entire set, but I think that she's fun. I do really love these like AP auto attack based characters. I think that they're so fun, so I do really want to see her kind of like have her moment, but I don't think that it's happened yet.
I mean, we haven't really seen her like find her place yet amongst carries of this cost.
Yeah, I think especially she's just been so overshadowed with like the Riven, who is so strong, this Corki who's been so strong, and then Arbiter also being so variable. It hasn't really felt like there's been room for this to be a real comp that you can play. And then she was getting her time in Shepherd, and when this 5 Shepherd and the 7 Shepherd was so popular, but it's just, it hasn't been as LeBlanc focused as I want to see.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Getting those rolls in. Looking for that Samira.
Yeah, I am just still kind of sad that the Samira is so prevalent still.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not that I want the comp to completely disappear, but I don't like when it is just something that you can kind of, every single game, there's people who are playing it. It is better than 2 tanky though. As long as I don't have to see another 2 tanky Samira, I'll be happy.
I mean, then again, like Friday, we did see 2 tanky Samira come out, and it was not great.
Yeah, This, however, is 6 Orns at 3/6
Yeah,
is
that's
a
not the
lot.
same.
That's a lot of Orn. Yeah, wow. And you've got the 2 items on him. You're so close to having your Radiant item. It's just like this board is so strong. You're in such a good position. The HP is like a bit lower than what you'd probably want, but at the same time, it feels like surely you're stabilized now.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's like surely you have that survivability and you're going to be able to get
Right.
to that endpoint.
Yeah, exactly.
I am seeing a lot of players being very close to their
Yeah, there's a lot of-
necessary 3 stars.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty close to that, the Belvath up at the top, which is, again, like we were talking about, that Jinx reroll comp is just so consistent, and it stays consistently strong. Oh, but a Yi too. Never mind. I guess we're just,
Yeah,
it's
I guess
probably
we're
just the Marauder board then.
Balling.
We are one off of our Leona here. There it is. So, yeah. I think that this makes sense. This is the board where we've got that Psionic Emblem, we've got the Challenger, and we've got the Rogue Spat. I think that this makes a lot of sense. And I think that Yi is looking super strong.
Oh, yeah, for sure. With the Challenger spat, I mean, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, we have the, almost called it Nico's help, the champion duplicator on the bench. And so we're definitely feeling pretty good about our ability to like hit all of our upgrades. Again, yeah, I mean, we're getting close to Jinx, we're close to Belvath. Everything's looking pretty good.
I wonder if we pick up this Riven, though.
That is interesting. I do think, obviously, Riven is just like a really strong unit.
Yeah.
I think that this Rogue Spat on the Yi is really, really good, though.
I'm surprised that we're, you know, essentially moving like proper damage items off of him, though, in favor of the Jinx.
Yeah, get that. I think that the Rogue Spat and the Challenger is just so strong on Yi with his general kit, and just like the aggro drop from Rogue, I think, is huge on
That's
that unit.
true. We are one off the Samira as well for Arctics.
Yeah. I mean, we really just hitting. And again, the HP is a little low, but this is the HP that we were looking at the last time we were there. So, obviously is at least somewhat stable. Was super close to that Ornn also, and is now one off of Samira. I'm afraid to see where my little Kate comp is, because if it's doing bad, I'm gonna be so sad.
I'm sure we'll be able to take a look at it at some point, and I also kind of feel like the Kate is probably going to be gone in favor of a Kindred.
Yeah. I agree, sadly, but I do think that
there's something there.
I believe in it. I believe in her. I think 3-star Kate with her buffed headshot damage, if you get like a Rage Blade and a Death Blade on her, I believe in her. So we do have our perfectly itemized 3-star Ornn and one off of our Samira. Like,
Yeah.
you can't ask for a better spot than that.
You cannot, and I mean, these Ornns, we've seen them non-stop, and it's just, nothing kills it.
Yeah, even after getting a little bit of a nerf, just being able to slam 3 items on him and have the Radiant, especially when he is itemized this perfectly, when you have the double Warmogs and you have the Gargoyles, like there's just literally nothing to be done. That unit is not dying.
It is not going anywhere. That is for sure. It's a big Leona, though, for Silencer.
Yeah. I do think that Leona is one of those units that she feels so strong early, but then, like, later on, she just gets out-tanked by, like, again, this Ornn. That's also a lot of training dummies.
Oh my goodness, it is. Jeez.
We are looking at 3 of them. So there's just units on this board. There's just so many.
I mean, yeah, between all of the dummies and the Ornn, like, how is anyone ever getting to the Samira?
Yeah, and then also she has the Shojin, so she's permanently CCing everything. It's kind of rough.
Yeah, it's just a tad.
I do also hit a really early Shen, like we were talking about earlier. The Shen got buffed recently. Really, really strong unit. He feels really good.
Oh,
And she dies. Yeah.
Yep.
When you have the backline access, when you have that Vex who can like hit more than just the Ornn, is honestly the only time that you're gonna ever be able to hit Samira and kill her anyway.
Yeah, and get through it all.
Yeah, absolutely. I like Thresh. I think that he's so fun to watch in these kinds of games where everybody is like, a lot of these players are playing for a first because they need to secure their spot next week, but sometimes it's just really bad. Like sometimes the Thresh like it's just terrible, and then you're stuck with it. Oh, this Darkstar Acel is disgusting.
I love seeing the Darkstar Acel. We've been seeing it for a couple patches.
So much damage.
It's
so much damage, especially when we have the 6 Darkstar. Like, you don't have to hit Jhin because you have the spat. You put JG on him. He's getting the, 45% bonus AP.
Yeah.
Plus he's super massive. Like, the unit is crazy.
Look at the laser.
So much damage. Yeah. It's ridiculous. I feel like this lobby has been really high roll for quite a few players. Like we were looking at that Samira beat. Now we're seeing this Acel, which is like basically perfect Acel. He just cooks the whole board from across the universe.
This is what happens when we start off with like a prismatic prelude. Is we get such a kickstart. It's just opportunity, right?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of this, like we were saying, it's a lot of people are prioritizing taking the emblems, and so you're able to have this Acel that gets so much value from Darkstar, whereas otherwise, like, you're not playing that if you're not hitting this prismatic first augment and taking spreading roots or whatever everybody loves to do. Just all of the training dummies just like taunting you from the side is so ridiculous. I do like this. We have the 3 items on the Bard also, and I feel like Bard, especially in the last game that we were watching, has just felt so impactful. He feels like he does so much damage, especially with the Giant Slayer. He just kind of tears through everything.
Look at these boons. What are we even searching for?
I feel like I use boons so poorly because I'm so greedy that I'm almost always taking the first or second boon. Like, I'm like,
so
no.
you're not spending gold.
1 gold?
Like...
No. Yeah, exactly. I'm taking like the first or the second boon unless there's something that I desperately need. But otherwise, if there's not, I'm just, what he's given me, sure, absolutely, done deal. We've got Sniper on the Karma. That's kind of interesting. Because she is hitting those backline units. Like, she's getting access to the entire board with her abilities. So I think that that's super interesting. And then obviously just having the Sniper emblem for free for your Jhin feels really good. And we hit our Belveth and the Jinx, which is really what we care about, but also up to the 4 Psionic and hitting that Gragas feels really good. Yeah, I mean, just watching the damage from the Bard, it's just so much with that. Yeah, he's got 2 AP items. is melting everything that goes into his little UFO beam. It is not enough, but I think that if it's not 1 HP and that that Bard is allowed to kind of maybe hit Bard 2, I think that he
Yeah,
becomes
we
really
definitely
scary.
need some upgrades.
Yeah. It's our big, scary ASOL.
Yeah, looking pretty strong as of now.
Absolutely. Huh. Ooh, plus you get like the free conduit because of Mordekaiser. Like it just the synergies on this board are so
Right, I
so
mean,
good
having
while still
those-
being able being able to unlock the 6 Dark Star
Yep.
is so good.
Just the emblem makes all the difference. And then we also
It really
have like the
does.
sniper emblem for when we do get our cancel
Yep.
the gen. And
Yep,
it's
exactly.
then again, like, amazing.
Yeah. I mean this comp just synergizes so well. It activates like every trait that you want it to. You get insane just raw damage on your ASOL who's doing so much, and he just gets so much value from Darkstar, and putting a JG on him, he just is a monster. There's another 3-star Leona. It's like there were a couple of people who were looking for it.
Yeah. I think a lot of people ended up with dupes as well, which helped a ton.
Yeah. Yeah, we are seeing this fully itemized LeBlanc though, which I do like. I don't think that it's super great. I don't think that the unit itself is like in a place where she can really carry the way that you want her to, but when you're 3 HP, you don't have a whole lot of choice. And then you're into just the biggest, scariest dragon on the planet, so. Yeah, wow.
So what does LeBlanc can do?
Yeah, it was an unfortunate miss from the Nunu ult. Didn't hit the ASOL, so he still was just stacking. It was a close fight.
Yeah.
Honestly, closer than I thought it would be, but
I mean, we needed better targeting there from the LeBlanc, and it might have been a win.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
We already have 2 players out, and our next 2 are 3 and 1 HP respectively. So, let's see if they
Yeah,
can
we are
survive
looking
this.
pretty low for a few of these players, especially when, again, like we were talking about, it is so important to kind of get that top 4 and secure your points so that you can make sure that you make it to next week. I do really like this though. I think that Morgana, the unit got buffed. She feels so much stronger now. She feels like she's actually kind of fitting in with that like identity that was initially intended for her, that I feel like had just been missing for a long time. But now she actually feels good to put a couple of items on her and be able to throw her in the front line. And she does tank for a while, obviously, into this ASOL.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard, but she finally feels like she's kind of doing what the unit was intended to do from the beginning.
It's gonna be Gria down. Silencer lives with the 1 HP.
Wow.
We can also talk about Conda up there, who is 5 streaking, 60 HP.
Yeah.
Fairly well ahead of the lobby. It's really nice to see.
Absolutely. And we did get our Jin, so we are going to be getting actual use out of our sniper.
Yep.
I think that it realistically makes more sense to have it on Kaisa, but I do really think that it would be fun to have Sniper Emblem on our Karma.
Sure.
But when you have these 3 other items for her, I think that it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I mean, the sniper buff on its own is not enough comparatively to like a full item.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this Nami. She's also got the Radiant JG on her, so her damage output is super, super high. I think the unit in general is really good. I think that she just has good base damage. I think that also when we're looking at this ASOL, because we haven't mecha'd him, and again, like in playing that 6 Darkstar, it's hard to just have the board space to be able to do that. But when he's not mecha and he has like one locked in target, if he doesn't get through the like whatever unit he's hitting on the first ult, then it really feels terrible.
Yeah,
He just
it needs to melt immediately.
yeah. And if he's not doing that, then you see fights like that where the other backline actually does get to ramp and gets to kill him.
Let's see what kind of item we're gonna be getting here. This fish cloud, little legend, by the way.
There's
what
my comp.
is this thing?
I don't know. He's lovely. He's like a little blob fish.
love
He's
it.
so
Yeah,
funny.
I'm so confused. You know,
He's
like,
really
who thought of
something.
this in the first place? No, but like, seriously though, like, how do you just be like, blob?
I think it's exceptionally funny just because he's like his face is so dopey,
Dude,
and then he
yes.
floats at you and stares at you. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Our big Samira. I see the Ornn is taking a lot more damage than he has previously. Again, doesn't
Yeah.
die because the unit is nuts. But I feel like 2 patches ago, he wouldn't even be half HP. Like, he was so insanely strong previously.
Oh, you did get the Twister
Okay.
Mighty Mac. That's
I think-
nice.
This board, I think, is really strong also. I think this Nami, like, we were seeing her damage output before, is so high. She does so much damage. We get the Replicator in. We've got Voyager. I think that Voyager is really strong. We've got a couple of standalone units that are really strong on their own. Like, this buffed Morgana. We are able to have Shepherd, and, like, we're hitting a lot of really key components here, and I think that it's just good. Like, I think that this Nami... I wish that we could see the damage output because I think it's nuts.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's huge. I mean, with the Radiant DG, I mean, for
Yeah,
sure,
yes.
right? It has to be.
she's melting everything.
One tapping.
Like, oh my
every
gosh.
unit. It's incredible.
This is her month, so proud of her. Gosh. Yeah.
It's gonna be 2 more players down. We're
Yeah, I
left
am-
with Conda and Spencer.
I think that both of these are really fun boards also. This is the Nova. It wasn't gonna be Kate reroll, which is absolutely correct. I think that Kate reroll is bad. However, I love this Nova Timebreaker. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so good. I've played it multiple times. If it's ever offered to me in any way that I could
Just
play it,
click
I
it
will play it.
immediately. Yeah,
It's
just take the opportunity
so
if it ever
good.
shows up.
And it's so straightforward. It's so easy. It's literally just like put in Nova units, put in Timebreaker units, and then they play the game for you, and it's so strong. It's just the attack speed that you're getting. It's so. It's good. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna stop.
Oh no, you're good.
I'm gonna stop talking about how much I love it.
And it is gonna get through this Nami.
Yeah, she's having a really hard time actually doing damage to the front line, which was not an issue in any of the other matchups that we were watching, and that's all it takes is just one fight. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and
Now you
that's
get the
gonna
close
be.
up. Oh, he cries! Oh no!
Oh god,
Pitiful,
that's so
pitiful
sad.
little legend.
Oh dear. Oh no. Oh
Yeah.
goodness. Okay, that was an incredible game 11.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the standings currently. They're not fully updated just yet. So I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna head to break and try and take a look at the standings before we hop into the next game as we come back.
Yeah.
So we will see you all very soon. Don't go anywhere.
Alrighty, and we are back. Right before we get into our final game of the day, though, we did want to take a minute to kind of look at the standings and see where our players are at. Obviously, this last cut is we're cutting 4 more players, so only half of this lobby is gonna make it. Um, there are quite a few players who have some ground to make up, but in general, when you're going into this final lobby, I feel like you're playing for first no matter what.
For sure. And I mean, honestly, the range in the scores is so tight. Like it's anybody's game right now between, 49 and 52. It's a 3 placement
Yeah.
difference, which is not huge, right? Like we've seen like much more commonly, differences of like 6, 7, 8, 9. It's like impossible amount of points to
Right.
catch up, right? So this is
Yeah.
definitely going to be a tight one. Everybody here has a chance. So we are going to head right into game and take a look at what we got.
I think that when it is this close, it does get really scary because, again, like you have to play for first, and then when everybody's playing for first, it leads to really just weird situations because people are willing to like play higher variance. They're willing to kind of be a bit more risky with it because, I mean, that's where you're going to make this big difference. That's either gonna send you first or eighth. Seeing the early Primordian too, I think that we've seen Reddy a couple of times through this weekend playing that Challenger reroll with the Primordian start, so this doesn't feel super surprising. I do think it's really strong. Obviously, in a lot of the lobbies where we've seen it, it's been a solid top 4 comp. Last game, I think, with that Prismatic Augment was just the ceilings of a lot of the boards that we were seeing was so high that the Challenger board just got outpaced, but generally super consistent, really strong. It's kind of ensuring that you're going to get this top 3, top 4 placement if you can play it right.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking a look over here. I mean, we did get the Tugos unit start, so that's already gonna give kind of like a little bit more, direction, I think, to
yeah, especially when
everybody
you
from
just
get-go.
hit the 3 shepherd. That's pretty hard to pass up.
Yeah, you're pretty happy about that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I think that makes a lot of sense. We have a gold first augment though, so it's not going to be anything crazy explosive like the prismatic that we saw last time, but there's a lot of gold augments that kind of give you a lot of direction. Mainly there's the anima augment, and I'm hoping that maybe somebody plays it. I think that legitimately in this lobby, if you get handed the anima augment, you play it. It's just, again, like we talked about, you have to be taking risks if you need to go first, and that anima is a really, really great way to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you completely there.
Okay, interesting. So we're swapping off of onto some Darkstar instead of the Shepherd that we were seeing. I think that Darkstar is super strong. I think that especially the 2-piece Darkstar is really strong.
I mean, having that execute early on is
I think the execute is
absolutely incredible.
Especially in these early fights. And then especially when you're getting Replicator, where like the Replicator damage is reduced, but all you have to do is tick 1 past that 8% and it's an execute, and so that's really all that matters. I feel like this, we're holding a lot of pairs on our bench. Also, there's a lot of room to hit a lot of upgrades like that.
Oh, that's amazing.
So it looks like we're selling the meeple now, which I think makes sense. I think that if you're not immediately hitting into it, it makes a lot of sense to kind of pivot out of meeple, but also playing like vertical meeple, the worst part of meeple is like having to play up to that 7 meeple, and that's the worst part of it. So I completely understand just avoiding it completely and playing a different comp.
Yeah, just going through different options.
We're fully open for it. holding the Jinx, so I do wonder if we're kind of hoping to hit an anima unit or two so that we can anima. Yeah, we're holding it here as well, which, I mean, again, with the Primordian, it's definitely that we're playing that Challenger Primordian. I'm desperate. I want anima. I want to see it. I want a cash out. I want, like, a 500 cash out.
Oh my god,
Somebody
yes,
has
please.
to do it.
I mean, that's certainly one way to, you know, play for the win, right? It's
Yeah,
very
exactly.
much everything or nothing.
Absolutely. Like this. I forget what the augment is called immediately, but this treasure augment, the reroll one, I love it. It's so fun. I think it's really good. Especially, obviously, you're playing a reroll comp, like, it just makes sense. But I think it's just so fun. I do like, there is this bruiser emblem that we've seen, which is another example of where people are putting a high priority on these emblems. I think that obviously when you hit that, the first thing that screams to me is that you're going to be playing the Brawler Yi.
Oh yeah, that's entirely possible. There's also the Evelyn thing, and I mean, I know that nobody's going for the Evelyn pick here, but that's also another way to kind of try and play for the more like risky kind of angles. But I think because the scores are so tight, people are playing super safe.
Yeah, I think that as we don't have any players that, like, 8 points is the only way that they make it because scores are closer, I think it does make sense. I do think that it's interesting because normally in a lot of final lobbies what we're seeing is these, like, riskier plays from a lot of players, but I think you're right. I think that people are kind of, they're playing what's safe, they're playing what they know is gonna execute, and
yeah,
it looks like there's some Gnar reroll or some Gnar printer, and there's a lot of this Primordian Challenger comp that has really become pretty dominant over this weekend.
Yeah, I tend to agree. We're seeing the 2-item, 2-star Timo already on the other side. There's definitely is. Cookies.
Yeah, I feel like Timo does a lot. Just for a one-class unit, he's not bad, but I'm never playing him. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
I'm genuinely just never playing that unit. Yeah, I think that we do hold Space Groove. I think, based on what we've seen of the lobby, there's not really anybody who seemed like they were kind of leaning into it. And when you're offered, like, this early Ornn, I think that it makes sense to kind of hold on to it. Got a lot of items on her Cho'Gath.
Yeah, I mean, Nashor's Cho'Gath is certainly an interesting one.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
Yeah, I do think that we are trying to make sure that we keep the loss streak for sure. But
yeah.
it is a lot of damage. I mean, it's not. We are early in the game. It's not a lot of damage, but
it's
I mean, taking like
though.
a 5-unit loss definitely feels bad.
Yeah.
Seems like we're maybe a little worried that we don't beat Krugs there too, to make sure that we we reposition for it.
Yeah, that would be important.
Yeah, I do really like. I mean, again, I think that the Brawler emblem, especially when we're holding onto this Bel'Veth, I think that it definitely just it becomes Brawler Yi, which makes a
Yeah,
lot of sense.
that's the
The
only
comp
thing
is yeah, the comp is consistent, especially with the Brawler emblem. It's stronger than playing it without it, and it definitely is like an A tier comp right now, which it seems like everything is an A tier comp right now. Ooh, that's pretty early Corki.
Oh, that very much is. That's a really
And
good
that-
find.
Yeah, that feels really good to have this Corki and now really only be looking for the Rammus as you're leveling, because I mean that's the hard part of Meeple is kind of getting it online and making sure that you hit those 2 4 costs, because it can get a little tough, especially if there's anybody else contesting you. I like this. We've got really good items on our Gnar also. It's also a Gnar too, which is this is something that I was saying earlier is like it's the Gnar feels really terrible if you're not kind of going into the printing with like 5 or 6 Gnars already.
Yeah, having already
Yeah.
like a decent amount of copies just for the sake of
Yeah,
not
and
waiting
I
too
think that
long.
absolutely, because otherwise you have to sit on this 7 meeple, which is just not the best version of that board. There's like very, very few instances where I think that maybe you hit like everything you've ever dreamed of and your 7 meeple is like insanely strong. But in general, that time period where you're at 7 meeple is your goal is to either take close wins or take close losses. And
Yeah.
like it's be 7 meeple and then immediately no longer be 7 meeple.
Just put it in for the shortest amount of time possible.
Yeah, which is like I think that Corki is a really good unit, and I think that it does a good job of like stabilizing you so that you can kind of print that Gnar. And obviously that was the issue with Gnar and it being so consistent, is that like you were able to do it, and you were able to do it basically every game because you could guarantee that you were going to print enough Gnar. But I think that with a little bit of the nerf, it being 2 turns per unit is just, it's hard. We do see some anima though. I saw almost at 200, which isn't
It's not
the
terrible.
best, but it's
It could
definitely
be worse, yeah.
Yeah, I think that playing it without like an HP steroid augment or without Soraka definitely kind of sucks, especially when you're only going into when you're like it's 3-3, you're going into 200, you haven't even hit the like 200 break mark yet. It doesn't feel like you can play this anima as your win condition, but I mean, if you're taking good enough losses, you can sit on it for a long time.
That's true, and I mean, like, obviously, you know, the more time passes, it gets exponentially faster.
Yeah.
So even just holding on for that extra round or two really does make a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. This is kind of interesting. It feels like we have a lot just on the board. We're just kind of playing the strongest board that we have, and maybe we are just looking for that fast 8, fast 9, and kind of finding something along the way.
We are seeing Conda pick up the Blood Pact here, which is interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Evelyn is really not getting a lot of love this game, which again, I think makes sense based on what you were kind of talking about, where these players are playing safe,
Yeah.
which is kind of disappointing because I like when the final lobby gets wild, but
I know.
but I think it does make sense, and that's fair.
It's understandable. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, that's some nice upgrades in the shop.
We do take those. I feel like I'd move over the Briar items at this point.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Yeah, there we
We
go.
kind of talked about this a little earlier. I think that 2-piece Nova Splash is just so strong, especially into something like this. The shred is so good, and it means that you can like leave an item spot open either on your carries or on your tanks to not have to be holding a shred item.
Yeah. And just get that little bit of extra power from a different one.
Yeah. We did get the 3-star Lysandra here, which I feel like we saw this earlier in the weekend for sure, and the
Yeah.
Lysandra just wasn't able to get online.
Well,
She was stuck at a 2-star.
We had some real issues with Lysandras for some games, but I think there was a first place that was taken by a Lysandra reroll as well. She's proven to be a really, really good unit, provided you have the right setup for it.
Yeah, it's so dependent on the game, which is, I mean, the point of TFT is that you're adapting to the game, so fair enough. But she definitely hasn't felt as consistent as some of the other comps that we are seeing as frequently. So I do think it's interesting that we're seeing it as frequently as we are, and it doesn't feel like it's performing like a lot of those other frequent comps are.
Yeah.
Oh, here's our Anima. We're at 317, so
we're getting there.
Yeah.
Slowly but
what,
surely.
2 rounds for... It's gonna be 2 rounds to hit the 400?
1? We're at 9 left.
I think it's
right?
3. Oh.
It doesn't cap out at 5.
Okay. Alright then, maybe
I'm not
got...
entirely sure.
Yeah. Because we've got some HP to work with. Not a ton, but we have some. I think that, it's kind of spooky.
Oh.
It is 2 turn to get that 400 cash out. It is so close.
I mean, we're 1 life.
Yeah, it's scary. You're gonna have to scout really well and maybe see if you can hit a couple of upgrades on that board to where you can take a good loss. Because you can't even like win and hit it off of killing units. Yeah, I mean, we're taking the time, we're pivoting our board, kind of trying to find something that's stronger.
These
and
are
hitting
really
a
good
really
rolls, though.
Yeah, a really strong front line. I love this Nunu. I think Nunu is so good. This is we've got the the upgraded ASOL. Yeah, the CC is just so good, especially because there's not a lot of like AoE CC just in the set in general, and I think that there's just so much value from it.
These items are so rough, though.
Yeah. Oh, we do have the ASOL too.
Certainly helps.
Hitting a lot, yeah.
Okay, Fiora's good. I mean, we can certainly give her like a BTQSS here or something, and try to heal up.
Gonna get some items on our ASOL.
Really.
Okay, he's been downgraded, which I think does make sense, but I do think that the upgraded ASOL, just like the way that he can hit everything is so good. Oh, this is interesting. Because I think that you just win this, and that kind of sucks.
Well, you need to win this.
Well, we wanted a really, really good loss. If there's enough units on the board, like, there's just, oh, it is. There's enough units on the board, so it's fine. Barely enough units on the board.
God.
But...
401.
Yeah. Barely enough units. So we definitely counted and we knew, and I am too slow at the game to do that. So fair enough. But I mean, that's scary being in that position.
Bad. Yeah, alright.
And then we take our cash out. That's not terrible.
No, that's okay.
Right.
Oh, I don't mind that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and then I think we're just building some nice sword items to drop on our Fiora.
We're reforging, actually. Yep.
Okay, fair. Good. Okay. Yeah.
We're close to the Fiora too, which is interesting.
Yeah, I do like. There's so many items. We have a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, there's the APM necessary here is just like a little bit.
Yeah. Way to go! Like, there's so many options.
Big laser, big snowball. Yeah, this is huge.
Yeah, I think that we were able to stabilize. That was a really good roll down hit. Everything that we needed. Super, super strong front line. This ASOL, I think that we want to upgrade him to kind of get that like passive hitting, but really looks pretty good. I'm a lot less scared if I'm in this position now.
Not just misfortune as well. I mean, this is interesting. What are we... I'm not entirely sure what we're aiming for the final board with this.
Yeah. Oh, we're seeing it here. Yeah, the Acel is really putting out a lot of damage. But I think that we are seeing the issue that we were kind of talking about earlier, where if he's not one-shotting a unit, then he kind of has a lot of trouble getting through the front line. You just get the detonation and it's fine. But but he burns through the first unit and then he kind of gets stuck on the second one if he can't burn through it immediately. The healing up feels really nice also from that position, playing the Fiora and just being able to buy yourself a little bit of extra buffer.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because, like, when you roll down, you hit, you're strong, but you're not necessarily strong forever, so making sure that you can take these, like, big wins and really heal up some and maybe buy yourself another turn down the line, that could be the difference between, like, a top 4 and a 5th. Ooh. So we are seeing the 5 Shepherd here. I do think that Shepherd is strong. I think that they buffed it a little bit in the last patch.
Yeah, I'm happy to see this
yeah, yeah, absolutely. That Jin is. He's gonna put in a lot of work. Got a little Shojin on him. Okay. I feel like everybody always hits Jin, and I don't know. It's a good unit, so I know that it's, like, definitely that bias of, like, people are hitting it and playing it, but I feel like he's just everywhere all the time. He's on every board always. Ooh, okay. Those are some high-value units that we can just, immediately sell off. Interesting. I feel like this board feels a little bit... I don't know, it doesn't look as exciting as some of the other boards that we've been seeing, but I do think that... I mean, it's only 2... It seems pretty straightforward, so I'm curious. I do think obviously the Acel he's got a lot of items, he does a lot of damage.
Yeah. And that part is putting in work as well.
Yeah. Wow, Meepsy was healing a lot.
Oh,
See, yeah, that's not gonna be enough.
Yep.
Not quite enough.
Close but not quite.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not completely sold on this board, and that's probably a me issue, but oh, we are seeing some Xayah though. I feel like I don't think we saw some Xayah that didn't really
take off.
Kind of, yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to make a bird pun, so
oh, I didn't even think about it. Oh no. Oh dear.
But I mean but I do think that Xayah looks super strong. Oh, here, this is kind of what we were talking about earlier, where you're actually itemizing your Shen now.
Yeah.
And I mean, at Shen 2, I think that just makes sense in general.
Oh yeah.
This was our Brawler emblem, though, that it looks like never actually turned into Yi Brawler. It just kind of turned into, like, Piba Brawler. Oh my gosh. Which I think makes a lot of sense. Like, if you can get to this level 9, if you can hit your Fiora, I mean, we've got a Vex, we've got really nice Graves also. I think that makes a lot of sense. With the Rage Blade on our Shen also, so he is ulting. I think it's just good. Yeah. Does a lot, and then Fiora is Fiora.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so it's getting kind of low. A couple of those.
Yeah, that's not
Ooh. Yeah, a little bit scary. We are seeing that Tex has that 6-round win streak, which is definitely feels good.
Fiora too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're still scared, like one good loss and you're dead, but it's definitely, we're kind of approaching that area of, especially with the board that we were looking at earlier, he's very, very strong, so you probably feel pretty good going into the later game. They're having a lot of trouble getting through this Cho'Gath. Yeah.
And it does finally go down, but is it too little too late? No, we're good.
No, it is enough. It's really close. Everything is so low. Oh my goodness.
You've got 3 players here on 1 life, maybe 4.
Yeah. 3 players on single digits, and then nothing above 50. Like, nothing above 25 until you get to first place.
Yeah.
This is really, really close.
And I mean, other than the anima cash out, there are no like significant win streaks either. It's very much a kind of like a matchmaking game right now, it would seem like.
Absolutely. I think that a lot of these boards are looking pretty good. Like there's nothing that seems like too crazy. There's nothing where anybody's playing anything totally wild. It's all fairly straightforward. I do like this Vex though. This Vex fully itemized, really, really good items. Yeah.
It's just
super,
not
super
enough, though.
strong. Yeah.
Both of them go down.
Aesol with his little dance. Oh my gosh.
The little hip shake. It's like he's hula hooping.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so we lose 3 players that round.
Oh, damn, we really did.
That's a lot. Wow. So now we are looking at, I mean, that's a big Nunu.
Oh, yeah.
We've got full items on our back line. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I think
on
that
Bard pair, I mean, if we get that upgrade, that would make a huge difference.
Yeah. Bard's been doing so much in, I mean, just like all of these last couple games. He just absolutely melts everything. It's a really nice mini ult. Does die. We get the Blitzcrank pop, and then just Aesol melts the entire backline. Ooh, it is not enough. That is... Wow. Not quite a death, though. Oh, it is. Okay, I was like, that's crazy. Okay. So we're 3 Shepherd. I feel like this front line has been a lot stronger than it should be in my head. I feel like, and like it's got 4 Vanguard, I get that, but I don't know, just something about it, it feels really strong. I guess it's got some augments, but we are seeing some more of that LeBlanc though. Again, I don't think that she's gonna kind of be the defining characteristic of this board. Yeah, and she can't do enough either way, but
we're gonna lose one more player here.
Yeah.
We're down to our
Here we
top
go.
3.
Into
Cottontail,
top
Tech,
3.
and Phoenix. We did make it to the top 3 with the anima cash out as well, so that's really nice to see on
Yeah.
the 10 win streak. I mean, we might, it
Absolutely.
might be just enough to run away with the game. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that the Anima really, because it's not, he hit so much on that roll down. It was very impressive. Like, that board was stabilized before the Anima cash out, and then just having those items was kind of the icing on the cake that really ensured that you're, like, getting this 10-round win streak at this point. Oh, it looked like we got a bard upgrade. Yeah. I mean, this board's so strong.
It really is.
The fully itemized bard too. He melts everything. I do think that this LeBlanc isn't enough.
I don't think
on
so
her own.
either.
But
I mean,
I
there's
mean,
the
it gets you a
Sona,
third,
but,
so
like, it's not.
yeah. The Acel is doing so much also. Those are really nice Nunu ults. Yeah, he's melting everything that's in front of him, and then he's, gonna detonate. It makes a lot of sense. I think that's really good. I'm not super surprised that, like, these are kind of the boards that we're looking at, but gosh, the Anima cash out again. It's just, it feels so strong.
Yeah,
and again,
it
I
really
do think
does,
that, like,
there's nothing that
this
Cottontail
game
can
with
do here.
text. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that there's a whole lot to be done. I do think that, like, it's hard to be too mad about it because we're watching Tex play it and we're kind of like, you're at one turn, and he realizes that too. He knows that, so he rolls down to kind of find either a slightly better loss, or what's more likely is that he is smarter than me and he counted the units and he knows that he can win and still hit his cash out, and so he rolls everything and he hits a more stable board. In fact, he hits a really good board.
Oh my
like,
god, and wins out as well.
Crazy.
Incredible, absolutely.
I do think that this Anima has been, like, every game that I've watched, there's been so much Anima, and when they're playing it, they're winning with it every time that I've seen it. And that's very biased, and I fully recognize that. But it really, it has been every single game that I'm seeing Anima be played, it's going first, or maybe once it went second.
I think, yeah, and I mean, that's an incredible game to end it on. We're going to be able to take a look at our standings here really quickly and see exactly how these points were spread out. Which does mean that Tex, Cottontail, Conda, and Phoenix are qualified now.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think that first must feel really good for Tex, especially after like 2 pretty lackluster games before this. And then hitting that first and, like, ensuring that you are qualifying feels really good for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm super happy that we got to see, like, the Anima cash out for the last game. I think that's incredible. And it really just gives a cool, fun note to the end of the tournament, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, it's really nice to see. However, that does mean it is the end of the weekend for us today. It was a really fun tournament to watch, and I mean, if we were missing reroll games, we have been served, because oh my god, what was that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad for how much Anima, because it has inspired me to go play Anima, even though I should not be trusted with that. I should not be able to play it, but seeing it played and piloted so well, I'm like, I have to.
Yeah,
I have to do it.
I mean, go play some Anima and let us know how it goes. I'm Dynasty.
It won't be good, but yeah, I will. I definitely will. We'll try it.
Yeah. In the meantime, we are going to be ending stream right here. Huge thank you to everybody who's been watching all weekend, and to everybody who has casted or who's been working in the background that you do not necessarily see on the screen. And we will, of course, see you all very soon next weekend for week 2 of regional finals.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of your night.